Barbadians predict their next government. That's our top story in our Barbados Today evening news update for Tuesday, March the 6th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Barbadians have been airing their views on a possible outcome of the next general election, constitutionally due by June. Our Barbados Today team took to the streets to get feedback.
I believe that it could be a walk-off, but what I'm saying, people believe this is a presidential election, and this election ain't even a presidential election. The election, people out there got the vote. People that you feel that, people that feel that they can vote, they got some candidates there that they got a lot of people in real trouble. Me running against first candidates that to come, and I say it that way, you know what I mean? So if they feel that, you know what I mean, people feel that that the people that the Democrat, the Republican, they said dead, they lie.
Strong BLP. Very strong.
I got my team can win. I got my team, the BLP, can win the election. But for 10 years, I was working in the government. For 10 years that I was working, I ain't get a raise to pay for 10 years. And this is really unfair to the workers in the public sector.
So, worry that he waited so long to call election when they ain't doing nothing for me. We here suffering. We sufferers. Huh? We want them out of the house. We will let all them out. Change the party.
In other news now, 4 Guyanese men have pleaded guilty before the High Court to committing several offences under the Drug and Firearms Acts. Yagpal Bisundiyal, Berkeley Crawford, Carlton Lakale, and Tito Moore are admitted to importation, possession, and possession with intent to traffic over 100 kilograms of cannabis and more than 20 kilograms of cocaine on October 15, 2013. Moore, Crawford, and Lakale pleaded guilty to having possession of the firearm, while Bisundiyal pleaded not guilty. Acting Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, Anthony Blackman, and Senior Crown Counsel, Crystal Delaney, informed Madam Justice Pamela Beckles that the Crown was not proceeding with the firearm charge against Bisundiyal at this time, but the charge would remain on the indictment pending a decision by the Director of Public Prosecutions. Director of the Department of Community Development, Patricia Hackett, is warning Barbadian men that they are by no means immune to the psychological impacts of ascribed gender roles. Hackett, who was delivering the feature address at a leadership seminar hosted by the Barbados Workers Union at Solidarity House this morning, pointed out that while gender roles have traditionally been viewed mainly limited to women, men are also disadvantaged by these stereotypes. Hackett said that while most of these stereotypes dictate that men take charge and assume leadership roles, the pressure is sometimes too much to handle.
We also expect men to be mature, tough, aggressive, dominant, and self-reliant. And sometimes these beliefs that we and expectations that we have put place on men drive men into a space where they sometimes hurt themselves. So that if a man is working for $400 a week and he has to take the bus to work, and he has to take 2 buses to work, and there's not many exercise like people in the work out how much money he has, and he has to buy that. And he may have a child that he has to support. Then how can the girlfriend expect him to provide the kinds of income that she may want?
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Jamaica has a new police commissioner. He is Major General Anthony Anderson, whose appointment becomes effective March 19th. According to the Police Service Commission, Major General Anderson has developed a keen understanding of the critical nature of the JCF in securing Jamaica and currently serves as the National Security Advisor since being appointed in December 2016 and is the first person to serve in this capacity in Jamaica. He is also the principal advisor to Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Cabinet on internal and external security, intelligence and defense matters. And on the international scene, Greece has called on the European Union to help free soldiers arrested in Turkey. More in this report from Euronews.
Greece is calling on the EU and others to help secure the release of 2 of its soldiers arrested in Turkey last week. Athens say the pair have been on a border patrol when they strayed because of bad weather. Turkey is a member of NATO, he says, and an ally of Greece in NATO. And this kind of incident needs to be solved via peaceful ways and after negotiations between the 2 armed forces. A Turkish state-owned news agency reported the soldiers were detained on suspicion of attempted military espionage and entering a prohibited military zone. A court remanded them in custody.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.